Live from the land of post-nasal drip, it's the Geek Show.
Coming up on today's program, what's the latest expensive thing that you absolutely have to have? Oh, we'll tell you about it coming up, and all the latest news on today's...
I hit the button too early.
It's fine.
Premature show intro roll.
I'll give you a hint about the item. It's something that Mike probably has already ordered.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Oh, lawyer Mike. Yes. Welcome, Jay Whitaker, on assignment this week. He's on. His assignment is to get some good internet in his hotel. That's his assignment.
One day
that will happen. One day it will be possible. Joining us today, though, Rebecca Frost. Everybody, hello. Lee George Cade, everyone, and Quad T, Tutal Tony.
Hey.
Producer, designated driver of the show, and Baja Blast consumer.
Enthusiast.
Before we get to news, anything you guys want to plug real quick?
Yeah,
okay.
The hole in my swamp cooler.
Your mom.
Hey-oh, got him.
Okay, well then let's begin. All right.
So much for plugs.
Anyway.
Well, I will. Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com. Hi,
There
I'm
it
Carrie.
is.
How are
That's
you?
Carrie
Carrie
Jackson.
Oh my gosh, we're dropping the ball this
Okay,
morning.
we're going to get it. That's the last bad one.
I give up.
That's
All
his
right.
plug.
Lee alerted me to this earlier in the week because it looked pretty cool. We got a new trailer for the Haunted Mansion movie. It will be in theaters July 28th. And it looks like maybe they figured it out.
Wait, is this the one with, what's his face?
You got Danny DeVito, you got Owen Wilson, you got Lakeith Stanfield, you got Rosario Dawson, you got Jamie Lee Curtis. You got a
Leto.
bunch.
Isn't Jared
You got
Leto
Dan-
in this?
Jared Leto is the Hatbox Ghost.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
shush,
what
shush, shush.
that's what's his bucket? That's who I was referring to.
Now, see, I thought the Hatbox Ghost would just show up and do a thing and then leave, but apparently he's throughout the movie.
Cool.
And
I thought they'd have him like all the way through production, and then right before the movie came out, they just decided to shelve it and bring him out 30 years later.
yeah, something. And he doesn't need any makeup. You just, white makeup.
He
is about
just
all
looked like that.
He does look like that.
Oh, what's his face?
But the plot seems pretty straightforward. A group of people in a haunted house have to figure out a way to dispel the spirits trapped inside or risk becoming part of the haunting forever, as they tell you in the ride. You remember? Lots of nods to the Disney ride all throughout. You got the
Like the title.
just the title. You got
They
the
have the room. They got that big room.
the stretching room. You got the axe-wielding bride. You got the Hatbox
The
Ghost we
chair.
talked about.
You got the chair.
The Doom Buggies, as they're called. The Crystal Ball Ghost, Madame Leota. The hitchhiking ghosts are in it. The stretching room.
They're my favorite. I like the hitchhiking ghosts so much. When I was a kid, I used to just scream at them because I was so afraid of them.
Beware of hitchhiking ghosts.
I think the Crystal Ball Ghost is the only one I remember because I've ridden this one time when I was 15. So that was a long.
I think
You
that's
remember-
Jamie Lee Curtis in the movie.
That is. Madame Leota is the
Cool.
name of the character.
Last time I went to Disneyland, I rode the Haunted Mansion about 30 times.
Yep.
I went on Christmas.
It's usually a good ride to go on because it sends people through pretty quickly,
Yep.
and it
And you
gets
just
you out of,
sit.
and you get to sit, and you get out of the sun for a while, and it's.
Yep.
But it looks like they've got this. They're walking this fine line between the kids will love it, and we'll throw in some scares for the adults as well, and just enough nods to the ride, but not too
This is for the Disney adults.
Not too slavish to the source
not
material.
too exactly. Yes,
Gotcha.
exactly. So it looks like they got it figured out. So go watch that trailer, July 28th in theaters for the Haunted Mansion.
In theaters.
Theaters.
And not competing with Barbie or Oppenheimer, because those come out the week before.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm actually interested in the Barbie movie. I want to see that.
Yeah, you should be.
I'm gonna
guess.
give old what's his face another chance with Oppenheimer.
Nolan.
He
It is
disappointed me
Nolan,
on
isn't
that
it?
last one.
I'm seeing it prepared to decimate it.
I'm seeing it prepared to make fun of the sound design.
See, well, Nolan's historical style movies are usually he hasn't had a miss on that one. It's well, I guess it's only Tenet, because Tenet was a big old dookie. And other than that, I've really liked his movies.
You know, I still haven't seen Tenet based
Don't bother.
solely on
Yeah,
your...
you don't. I wouldn't worry about it.
Big old turd pile right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't
you know,
worry about it.
Every time it comes up and I go, Sue, you want to watch it? And she goes, no.
Good choice, Sue. Well done.
Another trailer that we got, though, is from the Rogue One guy.
Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards. It's the creator. Was out this week.
What's this about?
It looks, I'll be honest with you, to me, and again, this could be brilliant, but it looks to me like it's kind of by the numbers. I think we've seen this movie before.
It's another lone wolf and cub movie.
Kind
That's
of,
all
yeah.
anybody wants. That's
I
all
don't
anybody
want
wants.
that anymore.
I
had enough of that.
It's Joshua, a hardened ex-Special Forces agent grieving the disappearance of his wife, who is recruited to hunt down and kill the creator, the exclusive architect of advanced AI, who has developed a mysterious weapon with the power to end war and mankind itself.
I'm in.
Because we can't just do one or the other. Joshua and his team journey across enemy lines to AI-occupied territory to discover the world-ending weapon he's been instructed to destroy is an AI in the form of a young child.
Oh,
So I think we can see where that's going. You know,
conundrum. What do we do?
It looks a lot like Simon Stollenhag in
Tales from the Loop.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So the art design, I think, if not by him, is heavily influenced by his work. So
It does look that way. But this is Gareth Edwards. He directed and wrote it. A lot of people in it. Gemma Chan. You got John David Washington from Tenet. Sorry, Tony.
Hey, I'm not going to hold it against the actors. It wasn't their fault.
He's
great.
fine.
Yeah.
Ken Watanabe is there. Sturgill Simpson is there. And a lot of newcomers. So
Because he did, I believe he did a Godzilla movie too,
he
didn't he?
He did.
So if there's one thing about Gareth Edwards, he is really good at showcasing scale and just how large things can be. So
like that.
I'm excited to see that in this movie.
Go and take a look at the trailer. It's interesting. It looks to me, I could be wrong. It's just the trailer. It looks kind of by the numbers to me, but there you go.
Is it coming out soon?
September 29th is when that happens.
This is a good year for movies, you guys.
It looks like
Shaping
it. Yeah.
up.
Another. It's not a trailer, but a teaser. But another look that we got was for Five Nights at Freddy's.
So I didn't care about this until I saw Josh Hutcherson. I like
Yeah.
Josh
Oh, really?
Hutcherson. He's funny. I'll watch pretty much anything.
Yeah,
with him.
Josh Hutcherson, and the film follows the same storyline as the game, which sees the troubled security guard, played by Josh Hutcherson, begin working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is, it's Chuck E. Cheese. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We know what they're talking about. And of course, while spending his first night on the job, he realizes the night shift at Freddy's won't be so easy to make it through.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because it's kind of a problem when the robots come to life and try to kill you. So
I say this every time. Don't make your robot stronger than a human. Problem solved.
Can't help it.
there we go.
If you're an adult and you want the grown-up version of this movie, you watch Willy's Wonderland starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh yes.
he doesn't have a single line of dialogue.
Not a
He just-
single line.
No way.
He
And he
grunts
just
the whole
kicks
thing.
butt the entire time.
I'm watching
Really?
that this weekend.
Runs
Oh,
and
it's so
kicks butt.
It's a 45-second teaser. Looks like Matthew Lillard is in it.
Even better.
Good for him.
Elizabeth Lale is she's there. But it will be on Peacock. You won't have to go to the theater to see it. It'll be on Peacock October 27th.
Oh, sweet.
Good.
So just in time for Halloween for that one. All right. Real quick, before we go any further, our 15th anniversary, my fault, was pushed back.
It's okay. It's okay.
I got the cooties. So
Oh,
just a reminder that we're a few weeks away from our 15th anniversary screening of Iron Man at Broovies in Salt Lake City. That will be the 10th of June. The doors are at 11:30. We'll do a podcast show at noon and then start the movie around 1-ish. And it's pay what you want. That's the price.
I suggest $15 for our 15th anniversary, but it's up to you. We're not going to tell you how to live your life.
We're also going to have a special commemorative poster, Lee George Cade work.
Exclusives. We got exclusives.
See,
And
it
it
says
looks-
15 behind it there.
Awesome.
Now, we picked Iron Man because that was the same year that this show in podcast form appeared. It was 2008, 15 years ago. So, yeah, that's coming up on the 10th. All right. You're just a little early with that next slide, Lee, but go ahead and hit it. Good news, everyone.
Yay.
They are back, and it only took 10 years.
It only took 10 years and a ton of negotiations.
Yeah.
It was worth it, I'm sure.
Futurama is back. 20 episode. Let's see. Returns July 24th on a weekly rollout of new episodes. Season 11 will have 10 episodes. And since Hulu announced a 20-episode order, there'll be more on the way after that. But you're going to get started with 10 episodes. And they're bringing back everybody. Robot Santa Claus, Zap Brannigan, Humiliating Kiff.
This is a regular Fast and Furious movie.
I better see some Slurm in there.
I'm sure there will be. The dreaded
Fast
Mom
and Futurama
is coming back. And my favorite character on the show, the greatest actor, Calculon.
Calculon, yes.
Who is Shatner in robot form, let's be honest. And Zap Brannigan is Shatner in Shatner form.
Zap Brannigan is my personal favorite character.
He is fantastic, yeah.
But, yeah, we're getting more Futurama. That will be on the 24th of July happening. on your
Day?
On your Hulus, yes. Yeah, so we got some other news. We got the FXX lineup. So we're getting more What We Do in the Shadows, Season 5, on July 13th.
Keep cashing those checks.
2 episodes will drop.
Yep.
Reservation Dogs, great show, Season
Yes.
3, August 2nd. That will be on
good.
Hulu, exclusively on Hulu. So it won't be on FXX anymore. And Justified City Primeval, a new Justified series. We liked that show. July 18th.
Old Timmy Ole's coming back.
Yeah.
He's going to fight dinosaurs.
July 18th, with dropping 2 episodes at 10 p.m. on July 18th. But the other news that we did get is that it is official this time. They mean it when they say this is the last season of Archer.
I'll believe it when I don't see it.
We mean it this time, they said. That will be coming to an end. Archer joins the previously announced 16th season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if you're a fan of that. Also coming back, but that will be, let's see.
June 7th for Always Sunny.
Is that right? I think it's on the same night. Oh, no, August 30th, it says here, for Archer. So there you go. And, yeah, they mean it this time. Oh, it says production's underway on the 14th season, it says. So maybe
Is this
Archer
upcoming
end
the
with season
13th?
14? This is confusing.
Who even knows anymore?
guess
There's
I
too
can look
many.
on
I'll tell you what,
IMDb.
there's too many seasons of this show.
There are.
I stopped like 6 years ago.
I did too, yeah. I might pick it back up, though, now knowing there's an end in sight. I might pick it back up.
More business of show stuff happening. And this is, okay. More release dates for multiple in-production TV series. With the writer's strike and all that happening, Disney Plus has announced some major titles to mark on your calendar. Loki's much-anticipated second season kicks off October 6th.
Yeah.
Hawkeye spin-off Echo will drop the entire season at once. This is different for Disney. The entire season all at once. On November 29th is when they're going to drop that. So, yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Do you think they don't have any faith in it?
I hope that's not the case.
It's a mistake, I think, even if you don't have faith in it.
I think not doing a weekly release in general is a mistake.
Exactly.
Looking at you, the bear.
It's so funny how we flip-flopped on that, because when
I know, isn't that
when
funny?
binge drops became a thing, everyone loved it. Everyone was all about it. And now it's like, no, give us weekly.
We've realized we like having things to look forward to.
Yeah, that's true.
And then also they've announced on June 30th, which is ahead of the June 30th release of the new Indiana Jones movie, May 31st, you can head to Disney Plus to see all the Indiana Jones, including The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones, will be available. This is
Half a good show.
It's half a good show.
Wait, why is it half?
Which half?
The front half?
The top? The bottom?
as always.
It's like a reverse. It's like a reverse mermaid.
Fish on top
I guess
and
some people
on
might be into
bottom.
that.
It's an Indiana Jones on top and a regular person on
So
bottom.
there are episodes of Young Indiana Jones that are phenomenal. The first season kind of suffers from Anakin Skywalker syndrome from Phantom Menace, where you've got a kid who's not the best actor playing young Indy, like young Indy, but there's some fun stories. The later seasons, though, when it's like 1918, 1919, 1920, Indiana Jones versus Al Capone, Indiana Jones versus Mata Hari, Indiana Jones, like really cool stuff. And they get into the historical stuff, like when he washes up on a beach and meets Stanislaw Malinowski and learns all about philosophy, or when he's in the first union-busting fight with the major motion picture studios during the silent film era.
This is a show for children.
They insert Indiana Jones into historical events.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Sean Patrick Flannery played young Indy.
It's Forrest
Boondock
Gump.
Saint himself.
It's Forrest Gump in Indiana Jones flavor.
And there's
What?
and there's one
Forrest Gump
episode.
gets inserted into all of these things throughout
yeah.
history.
Sure. And there's
Jason
one
Momoa in
episode.
Fast X.
There's one episode where Harrison Ford shows up and plays
a flute.
Indy.
A flute.
He does play a flute.
Indiana
in his
Jones's
cameo.
flute. Yeah.
Yeah, because the whole series was bookended, and they learned very early on, I think, before the second season hit, to stop doing this. You would have like wacky old man Indiana Jones hanging out at his daughter's house because he got kicked out of the nursing home, and he'd be like, "Oh, this reminds me of the time that me and Groucho Marx got caught in a harem."
Okay, Grandpa, let's get you back to your room.
Right. So yeah, they stopped doing that. But there's one episode directed by Steven Spielberg, which opens. It has a bookend with Indiana Jones, with
Harrison Ford.
with
yeah.
Harrison Ford playing a flute.
And speaking of Harrison Ford, he got the standing ovation at Cannes this week, and they screened the new Indiana Jones movie. And it's not the crowd, I think, that was designed for this movie.
Well, I read the headline that I saw was like he got like a lukewarm 5-minute standing ovation.
What is so it would have been good if it was only 2 minutes long? I mean, what?
So like he got like the comparisons I saw where Harrison Ford receives like a pretty lukewarm 5-minute standing ovation, whereas Tom Cruise for I think either Top Gun Maverick or Mission Impossible, I think Top Gun Maverick, received an 8-minute enthusiastic standing ovation.
How was
They were all
Brendan
chanting
Fraser's?
Xenu.
Brendan Fraser received a heartwarming 8-minute
Nice, good for
standing
him.
ovation.
Yeah. But, the reviews for the new indie movie, again, I wouldn't pay attention to them, frankly, because I don't think this crowd is going to respond to an Indiana Jones movie the way that the rest of us might.
Yeah.
It's like it's like one of my favorite things to do is to go see a horror movie at Sundance, because a lot of times people just buy Sundance tickets for whatever they can, not really expecting a horror movie, and horror movies are not their thing. They're the best crowd. They're the best crowds.
Yeah, the film festival crowd, probably not exactly who you want to get opinions from on this movie. I would just say, hey, go see it if you're an Indiana Jones fan.
Yeah.
And if you love it, great. If you don't hate it, I mean, if you do hate it, don't make that your personality for the next 5 years, please.
Yeah.
What do you say about Tenet?
Yes, Star Wars fans.
I personally am going to this movie not because I like Indiana Jones, but because I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah.
Yes, and I did read somebody who I do trust said that she's so good in this that they should just pass the torch to her
That
and let
she
her
should
do
just
it.
be Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's perfect.
So there's that.
You know how bad fandom is. I
How
posted a
bad
thing.
is it?
Thank you, Rebecca. It's so bad that when I posted a thing saying, I don't really care about your take on Star Wars, let people like what they want, I had a person say, yeah, but here's the 12 reasons why I don't like Star Wars.
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
Listen, I've been experiencing this with the Fast and the Furious movies the last 2 weeks because I've been doing nothing but watching Fast and Furious movies for the last 2 weeks. And so many people are like, I don't watch those. Those are stupid. Those are predictable. And I'm like, yeah.
I don't care.
And?
Yeah,
So?
exactly. It's the same. My producer loves the Fast and Furious movies, and I'm not about to crap all over her enjoyment of this. Let her
Right?
have
I don't walk
it,
around telling people I don't like mint.
You don't like mint?
No, I think
Well,
it's
She
gross.
doesn't. She doesn't.
I don't like mint from a horticultural perspective because once it's in your ground, you
Once
have
it's
mint
there,
forever.
you
Yeah.
got it
It's
forever.
a weed.
Yeah.
It's a weed. A delicious weed.
Delicious weed.
Yes.
Not the weed for me.
I knew there was a joke in there somewhere like that.
Other stuff that has been announced: Avatar 2 is going to stream on Disney Plus and HBO Max on the same day and date.
Oh, good. I can
Okay.
take potty breaks during it.
Oh, maybe I can finally see how it ends.
Did you
Maybe
start
I
it and not
can-
finish it?
She
I
left
left after 2 hours
the theater.
you did?
Walked out of it.
because I had a headache. I had a headache so bad I had to go home and puke.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Okay. Well, then you can finish it. Yeah, on June 7th is when.
You have to start over. You can't start where you
No,
left.
absolutely not.
Nope, you gotta
I
start
do
over.
not care about this movie at all.
I'm
Now,
really excited for Avatar fans and my mom.
Yes, exactly.
I'll watch it.
I'll check it out.
Give it a shot.
Disney Plus does mention that its version will have bonus content featuring filmmakers, cast, and crew, which gives it a
like-
leg up over HBO Max. So
Like James Cameron already doesn't make 75-hour-long movies.
yes. And just a programming note, and we'll talk about this later. The new Dungeons and Dragons movie is on Paramount Plus right now. You can watch it.
Please,
So good.
please.
It's so good.
And the new Ant-Man movie is on Disney Plus.
Don't worry about. You can just skip it. Just
We'll
go
be
ahead.
talking about that later.
Go watch Dungeons and Dragons.
And
right.
yeah.
Now, for lawyer Mike, who I know is there, I can see him. Tell me that this is sold out already, Mike.
The latest comment from Mike. Rebecca hates budgeting.
My family's in crisis.
The Batcave to end all Batcaves. Lego announced Tuesday that the new Batman Batcave building set, inspired by Batman Returns from 1992.
Oh.
It is. It says here it's geared for the adult collectors. So you kids who might be interested, forget
Who's
it.
collecting adults?
I know. 4,000 pieces. It's a unique design format. The set builds into a shadow box, which opens up to reveal this highly detailed Batcave with display pieces.
Oh my God, Carrie! I was just about to make a joke, and then I realized I can't make the joke because it's actually here.
What?
The little turntable that they do the when they're doing the
Yes.
Penguin's speech, his memorial speech. It's right there. See it?
It's right there.
It's right there. I was gonna be like, that's not the Batman Returns back. Yeah, it is.
Right there.
amazing.
So it's a shadow box window in the form of the bat signal symbol, because of course, you get your little Lego Michael Keaton Batman. You get your little Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman.
Pfeiffer.
You get your Penguin. You get a Bruce Wayne. You get an Alfred. You get a Christopher Walken Lego.
It's about time he got his Lego.
Oh,
dude.
Isn't it
about
about
time. My collection is
I'm,
complete.
I'm Max Shrek, and this is my boy Chip.
Look at this watch. Up my.
$450. $450 just for the Christopher Walken figure alone makes it worth
Yeah.
it, I think.
It's a steal.
Legos.
Now
Are you
it
sure you
says
didn't forget a zero on that. I feel like this should be $4,500.
$450. Yeah.
That's so much.
It goes on sale June 8th, but Mike, Lego VIPs can get it early starting June 5th.
I'm sure
What's
that's
a
my-
VIP?
Very
important
Very
plan.
important piece of Lego.
Piece of
Ooh,
Lego.
That's a better joke, I guess.
No, it wasn't.
Sad
All right.
week like
It was
me.
bad. It's okay. Not all.
Now-
Not. I can admit when a joke is not good.
Now on to the business of show. And again, lawyer Mike, this is the argument for physical media. Disney is starting to pull content from Disney Plus and Hulu starting on May 26th. The list features largely short-lived series, specials, and direct-to-streaming movies. HBO Max did this a while ago, and now Disney Plus and Hulu is doing it. It's a huge list, and I've just highlighted a few because they're genre. On Disney Plus, Willow, the making of Willow, the Willow series.
Criminally underrated. Watch it, people.
Well, you only
Well, I
have
can't
until
now.
the 26th to do it. So
The thing that shot this show so badly is that some people that we will leave unmentioned decided that it was too woke for its own good, and that
Ridiculous.
wasn't the case. So the original show wasn't woke at all, right? So they boycotted it, and they made a lot of noise about it, and no one can post anything positive about it without getting a whole tirade and army of people screaming about how stupid woke media is, and I just want to take a nap.
Another show, The World According to Jeff Goldblum, which is actually quite delightful.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus. More Disney Plus stuff. Marvel's Project Hero, Marvel's M-Power, Marvel's Voices Rising, the music of Wakanda Forever. The One and Only Ivan, Artemis Fowl, Earth to Ned, which is actually a delightful little movie, or TV series, I mean.
What's that?
It's about a space alien who hosts a talk show, but it's a Muppet, and it's voiced by Paul Rudd, who is Freakazoid.
No, that sounds great.
So Earth to Ned, check it out while you can. On Hulu, the TV series based on the Sex Pistols, Pistol, is leaving. And on Hulu, Why the Last Man is being
That
told.
one I'm the most sad about. That show was so good.
It was good.
It was very good.
And I see Kat Dennings' show got
Dollface.
Dollface.
Also very
Dollface is
good.
also extremely good.
Yes.
a really, really good show.
What,
again,
are they running out of space on the servers?
They say it's a money-saving thing because they don't have to pay residuals.
They have to pay
to
streaming
these.
residuals, which is why the WGA is on strike right now. Everybody.
Exactly. You don't have to pay residuals to your actors and producers. You're saving money on your space, I guess. I don't know. But there's the argument for physical media. You know, it may be old-fashioned, but at least you own it forever.
But how am I supposed to get physical media of something that was specifically streaming only?
They are available on Blu-rays.
You're
Yeah, a
telling
lot
me
of the
Why the
times
Last
they'll
Man
do-
is available on DVD?
They'll do
It
box
might be.
sets.
It might be.
gonna
Take a
look.
look.
Dollface,
I'm gonna look.
I'm willing to bet dollars that Dollface is not on physical media.
Physical media, I wasn't able to do it because I don't think. Well, maybe they did, but Deadly Class, like I bought the season on
Yes.
Amazon before it disappeared.
That's another show. Yeah.
Sci-Fi pulled the plug on that, and they're just like, "Oh, we're gonna go bury this until everybody but Lee forgets about it."
That's one I would encourage you to dig up if you can. Deadly
So
Class.
good.
It's
So
really
good.
good. More business of show. Say goodnight, Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel.
I didn't even get to say good morning.
I know, right? Less than 2 years this thing was open. Might have been, I love that, by the way. A family of four, $6,000 per visit. Who'd have thought that it wouldn't work? A windowless theme park hotel with a mandatory 48-hour stay.
I still wanted to go.
I did. I still want to, and I'm actually trying to figure out a way to do it before it closes.
I never once thought, yeah, I want to do this. And that's where if you
That
lose
is not
me,
true, Lee. That is not true.
No,
when
I
it
wanna
was
go to-
announced,
when
you
I
were
wanna go
like,
to-
"I'm spending my 100th birthday there," or whatever, however old
No,
you are.
that was not the Galactic Star Cruiser. That was Star Wars Land. That was the Black Spire Fortress thing or whatever.
I'm willing to bet dollars
okay,
that we
okay.
have audio of you talking about being your Greedo person at this Galactic
at
Star Cruiser.
Wars Land.
No, at the Star Cruiser too.
I would encourage all of you to go to geekshowpodcastarchive.com and look for that.
And then find a way
wrong.
to prove it was
Prove
me.
50-50 chance that he did it.
You know,
60-40.
it wasn't my evil twin that only carries that.
Schrodinger's Greedo person.
That's right. Schrodinger's Lee says it probably happened, or maybe it didn't.
People
If there's
did
a
and did
Schrodinger's
not
me, I
say
wouldn't be
that.
surprised. Yeah.
Statement from Disney. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, one of our most creative projects ever, has been praised by our guests and recognized for setting a new bar for innovation and immersive entertainment. This premium boutique experience gave us the opportunity to try new things on a smaller scale of 100 rooms. As we prepare for its final voyage, we will take what we've learned to create future experiences that can reach more of our guests and fans.
And what's going to blow everyone's mind is on the last day that it's open, they'll close the doors, and then all of a sudden it will lift up out of
lifts
the
up
ground,
and
and
go-
it is a starship, and it will just fly away into space.
I bet you there's somebody on the board of directors who's just like, well, okay, let's see. $6,000 for a family of four, mandatory 2-day stay. So how about this? We take it down to 10 rooms, and we charge $60,000 for a family of four and a
Genius.
minimum 24-hour. I think we've got a way to fix this thing.
People will
money.
still do it. Do you think that is there any piece of you that thinks this is kind of an FU to DeSantis?
We'll get to that. We will get to that. Let's see. So I found some reviews for this place. Now, generally, they're high praise. for the concept. It says, if you're into Star Wars and enjoy role-playing, it's worth it. In addition to the lodging and food, it's a lot of food, park admission, including Lightning Lane access to the rides. What you're really paying for is the experience that put on by the characters and crew members. But then there were some of the other reviews, which I found. This was an interesting one. One hotel guest described the experience as like being in jail.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And another who dubbed it the most expensive ripoff of my life, saying that he had to spend most of the time staring at their phone in order to participate in the role-playing games. Now, I've heard that complaint before.
Yeah.
Let's see. And it's getting that way in Star Wars land, too. You have to download like 2 or 3 apps for the entire experience. The hotel is surprisingly small, with few themed spaces to explore, even the garden climate simulator.
It's 100 rooms. Yeah, it's small.
Yeah.
It's a spaceship.
The garden climate simulator, which is supposed to help with claustrophobia, is small. I don't know why it's so tiny. There's plenty of land to work with. It doesn't feel immersive. It feels cramped. I think that you can blame the pandemic for this one.
Yes.
Because that was my whole thing, was I didn't want to be stuck in this place
With a bunch of weirdos.
no windows and a bunch of people breathing their cooties on me. And
Bunch of weirdos. You mean fellow Star Wars enthusiasts?
yes,
They're also willing to pay $6,000 to LARP for a weekend? Yeah, fellow weirdos.
I got an extra arm and a leg lying around. I'm going to go to Star Wars Hotel.
I can't wait to get home and tell everybody how much I hate this.
Finally, we get Lee's true voice on the show.
that's Schrodinger's Lee.
Yeah, Schrodinger's Lee right there.
I hate it. Shut up, Tony.
Never.
I am talking to some people about finding a way to go down before it closes in September. We'll see. But this is the big business of show story for the week, and that was the Imagineering department. They canceled the move to Florida. Now, they've been planning this for a while now. I've talked to people who worked at Disneyland and said, they're moving everything to Florida, and I don't want to move to Florida, was a lot of the complaints that they were getting. But the Imagineering division in Southern California, they were going to move to this brand new campus, which was on the way to being built at Disney World in Nona, Florida. It's all canceled now. Now, the New York Times is saying, without saying it, that it's a strike against Ron DeSantis. They're kind of sticking it to Ron DeSantis, so they're not bringing more jobs and construction dollars to Florida. Part of this whole thing was also going to be a big shopping complex along with it.
Oh, that would have been a lot of tax dollars.
Would it maybe
Yes.
have anything to do with the fact that most of Florida is going to be underwater in 20 years? Still?
Yeah, Florida is just a big swamp.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't be looking at Florida as a long-term business investment.
Yeah, right.
It's about 200 employees and families have made the move to Florida. Disney parks, these are people who are already down there.
Dang.
And so Disney Parks Chair Josh DeMauro sent an email to these employees saying that the company will explore the possibility of moving you back. I'd like a little bit more than that, frankly. but-
Hey,
Possibility.
Disney.
Wow.
Hey, Disney.
yeah.
Now you got all this money saved from taking shows off of your platform and stuff. Can't you just move these people back?
The
Spend that
move,
money.
the move was meant to cultivate Disney's relationship with Florida because it was going to be a $1 billion office complex, which would have brought 2,000 jobs to the region. And like I said, this big shopping area as well. That's... and
DeSantis effing up big time.
I would like to think that it's a dig at DeSantis. I really would.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reason to think that it can't partially be that, along with other reasons.
Two things can be true.
That's true. That's true. All right, that makes me feel better. There you go. Finally this, and then we'll find out what you consumed this week.
Cinnamon rolls.
Tony, sadly,
Oh no! What happened now?
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Don't say it.
is not returning to the Terminator franchise. He
Oh, come on,
I want to be back.
he won't be back.
Ah, there it
Lee.
is.
Lee.
Here is what he said to the Hollywood Reporter. He said, "I got the message loud and clear that
Loud
the
and
world
clear.
the world wants to move on with a different theme when it comes to the Terminator. The franchise is not done, but I'm done.
Different theme.
The world wants to move on to something that hits a little less close to home because of all the AI advancements recently.
Exactly. Someone has to come up with a great idea. It's dueling Arnolds here. Someone has to come up with a great idea. The Terminator was largely responsible for my success, so I always look on it fondly. Here's where he ranks the movies now. Tony.
it's
You're
fun.
right.
Oh, he's got a ranking?
He's going to rank the movies.
Here we go.
The first 3 movies were great.
Huh?
Number
Well, yeah,
4.
because you were there.
Yeah. Number 4, Terminator Salvation. I was not in because I was busy being governor.
Governator.
Then 5, Terminator Genesis in 2015. And 6, 2019's Terminator Dark Fate. Didn't close the deal as far as I'm concerned. We knew that ahead of time because they were just not well written. Didn't stop you from making them, though, Arnold.
Oh,
did it?
well, I mean, the check still
I
cashes.
needed the paycheck. Oh, I can't do that impression.
We've all. Oh, sorry.
We've all had lousy jobs, everybody. We all know. Sometimes
Nobody
you show up
wants
at
to
your
work
job.
anymore, including me.
Yeah. Have you seen my stupid son-in-law? I hate him.
I don't have to. I need to spend more time with my email that goes out every day. Subscribe to Arnold's Access.
There's a cow in
know
the
that's true.
kitchen.
You know
And
that's
then,
absolutely
and then I have
true.
a podcast as well. It's about 10 or 15 minutes every morning to help motivate you. And then when you add it, why don't you
that
buy
real?
my new book? Yeah, it's real. When you add it, buy my new book this October. It's called Be Useful.
Because that's
from-
what my dad used to
Words,
tell me.
words from my father. Don't
is
ask
all
me about
true.
his Nazi stuff. I already went all in depth with it during my governor years. It's all out there. Just go look it up yourself.
Google it.
Google it. Wait, can I say that? Oh, Bing is sponsoring this one. Bing it.
Being it.
Jiminy Crimbus.
Thank you, Tony. All right. What did you consume this week? Or who wants to start? Rebecca, you want to start?
I watched 4 movies. So strap in. The first 2 I watched are in that new business movie category. So I watched Air, starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Oh, yes.
And the invention of the Michael Jordan shoe, the Air Jordan. I was a little hesitant to start this because I wasn't sure if I was ready to open my heart back up to another Ben Affleck and Matt Damon movie. But it is.
Why?
Just because I knew I would like it, you know?
Oh, okay.
And it was fun to see these 2 guys just doing what they do together, you know? Like,
Talking.
it was fun to see my friends back together, you know?
Okay.
And pretty good movie. Don't ever forget it, 1984. This movie was very much like, do you remember 1984? 1984. It's like an advertisement for 1984. It's insane.
Oh, I'm sitting here thinking of you mean the
George
book.
Orwell
I was
No,
like,
the
what does
year.
this have
Oh, I'm
to
so
do
sorry.
with
No,
the
like the
book?
year itself,
Okay.
1984. And then following that, I watched Blackberry, starring Jay Baruchel and Glenn Howerton, about the invention and the downfall of the BlackBerry phone.
Oh, Glenn Howerton has a bald head in this one.
And role of a lifetime. If he
Yes.
does not start getting on award circuits for this movie.
I'm watching this. I was excited when I saw the preview for
Yeah,
this.
and it's surprisingly funny. I learned a lot about the history of BlackBerry. It does the thing where it shows the progress to success too quickly, which they kind of have to do. But so I get it. But I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I gave Air a 4 out of 5.
Do they tell you what the name of the company is that makes the BlackBerry that nobody knows for a long time?
Research in Motion.
Yeah, RIM. The
RIM,
company
yeah.
was RIM, and they
Ooh.
produced the BlackBerry. And then eventually they had to just like change their name to BlackBerry because nobody knows what RIM is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus-
it's a really
Yeah. Plus,
interesting
yeah.
movie. I thought it was so interesting. Yeah, just really good. And then I went to go see an action movie called Sisu. Sisu
I want to see
is
that so bad.
essentially John Wick, but with Nazis.
And an
And they
old
don't
guy.
kill his dog.
No, the dog's okay. I had to look it up beforehand. The dog
Oh, me
is
too.
the dog is
Me
fine.
too.
But John, the most fun you can have killing Nazis is what one of the reviews says.
Well, that's
and
always fun, though.
Yeah.
He
Literally
sticks
an
a
hour
hunting
and a
knife
half.
all the way through a Nazi's head. Like,
Guys, I'm gonna tell you one of the most metal scenes out of this movie is he's hiding underwater, and the head Nazi is like, "Go get him, because
I
there's a
read
bag of
about
gold."
This is so
And
metal.
so the Nazi gets underwater. The guy grabs him, slits his throat open, and uses the air in the guy's lungs to
What?
stay underwater.
Get out of town.
This movie is sick as hell. The row in front of me kept saying Jesus Christ like every 5 minutes. It is extremely gory, extremely action packed. This movie has everything. I give it a 5 out of 5. Absolutely love it if you love gory action movies.
How do you spell that? Sisu? How do you?
SISU.
Isn't it like the Isn't it like the Finnish or the Danish philosophy of just staying?
It's the Finnish.
Metal as
It's
hell.
the Finnish word. Essentially, yeah, it's the Finnish word that doesn't really translate to English, but essentially that white knuckle determination to keep
persevere at all
going.
costs. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
And
what's that
this
like?
guy
I hope to have that.
refuses to die. And
If it was a
who
Klingon
could
movie,
bl-
it would be Kapla. You know,
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I got you now.
And then I'm so sorry that you guys have to listen to me talk about Fast 10 for the next 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
1 minute for
so-
every movie.
The technically 11th Fast and the Furious movie in the saga Fast 10. This movie's got everybody. The gang's all there except Brian. He's home watching the kids.
Again.
But listen, this movie knows what's up. This movie knows it's not very good. This movie, well, okay, I take it back. I don't know that the movie knows it's not very good, but the movie is self-aware enough to give you a literal recap of what happened during the first, like, however many movies, right? Jason Momoa is the big bad in this one, and he is the Fast and the Furious' franchise's Joker. His jaw must be so tired from chewing all of the scenery. He is having the time of his life. Vin Diesel, I'm convinced, has never been in a room with more than one person because all of his scenes are him and one person or him by himself.
Well, nobody wants to work with him.
Nobody wants to hang around.
Yep. Yeah, just, you know what? It's a Fast and Furious movie. If you know what the deal is, you're going to have a blast. I could barely contain my hoots and my hollers.
Now, someone pointed out to me, this is how old this franchise is. One of the first movies, they were stealing DVD players.
That is
very
the very
first
first movie. They are
Yeah.
stealing TV, DVD combos, and VHS players.
That's where the money was at then.
Yeah,
straight
and
it was.
Jason Momoa has a bone to pick with Vin Diesel, so he's going all out. Everyone's back. John Cena, Charlize Theron, Brie Larson makes her first appearance. I listen.
Does it have Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, not yet.
This movie's crap.
The physical and visceral reactions that this movie elicited from me. I was hooting, I was hollering. At one point, I said no, like out loud. At one point, I said, "Now this is pod racing."
Oh no.
Yeah, this movie's got everything. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I give this movie a 5 out of 5, and I don't care what you think. If I was a film professor, this movie would get a D. It is one of the worst movies.
But you had fun, and that's
love
all.
it.
But I
matters.
had a blast.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is it takes a book that's like, let's make a movie, and then it's like a Mad Lib, and it's number by the numbers, very tropey, very like I could write this in my sleep, but here we are, and we're having a blast.
And
That's-
then Blank shows up.
yeah.
Oh yeah. The question actually, I need to ask that myself. Does The Rock show up?
I don't want to give any
Oh,
spoilers,
no
you
spoilers.
guys.
Yo, no spoilers.
No, because I know they don't like each other. Because
But
They're
here's
grumbly.
the thing. Here's the thing. This is Fast 10 Part 1. This
Yeah.
is the franchise's Infinity War, you
okay,
guys.
so you don't need
Oh,
to answer
so
that.
so there's a cliffhanger. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, literally, they hang a whole bunch of cars off a cliff, and then the cars are all like
Again.
climbing over
It's
each
not
other.
a cliff. No, that's Hobbs and Shaw. This one, it's a dam.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Is that everything?
Wow.
Yep, that's everything.
Okay. Who's
That's
next?
exciting. I'll go next.
Yeah, Tony should go.
I finished Recursion. I talked about that last week. A book on the old Audibles. I finished it. 10 out of 10. Just a great read or listen.
Oh, good.
So I highly recommend that. It's by Blake Crouch. Thanks, Mike, for that recommendation. Spot on. Let's see. I also watched a movie this week. and it might be one of my new favorite movies. I need to watch it again just to be sure, but I super loved it. It's called 3,000 Years of Longing by George
Yeah,
Miller.
with Idris Elba and Tilda.
Holy moly. So it was just great.
I watched a couple old ladies buy tickets to watch that movie in a coastal town in Oregon, and I was just thinking to myself, these two ladies are either going to have an awakening or they're going to hate this movie.
What did they decide? What could you tell?
Yeah,
By
did
the-
you
I
ask
don't
them?
know. I was walking down the street. I was going to get some taffy
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, the old taffy walk.
from the ocean.
Lee loves him some taffy.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, 5 out of 5 for 3,000 Years of Longing. It smacks to me of Big Fish, and I loved Big Fish. Big Fish is it's my favorite
Great
Tim Burton movie, and I felt that same vibe with 3,000 Years of Longing. Just fantastic. Can't recommend it enough.
All right.
Let's see, TV shows. Oh, caught up on Barry. Oh, have you guys been watching Barry
Oh
this
yeah,
season?
I'm caught up. Yeah.
Whoa, Barry is next level. It's just like, oof. Yeah. Watch Barry if you haven't been watching Barry. And of course, on the other end of that spectrum, Ted Lasso. Just wonderful.
Dang, these episodes are getting so long, but that's okay.
I love it though. I'm loving it.
Danny
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba,
Rojas
I'm loving
killed
it.
me this episode.
Oh, Danny Rojas was so good. Oh, and
Yeah.
last thing, catch up on Succession if you haven't caught up on Succession. Holy, wow!
Horrible people. No one to root for. Not a person in this whole cast to root for. Not one.
I only root for one person because he's just too stupid to not root for him, and that's Cousin Greg. I root for Cousin Greg. He's an idiot, and you know what? I hope he comes out on top somehow.
Best line
He's
from
terrible.
Best line from Succession ever. You can't make a Tomlet without breaking a few Gregs.
Cousin Greg. Oh man, I can't get enough of him.
I mean, even when I think that Tom is having a redemption arc, then he'll
Yeah.
turn around and do something terrible, and I'm
Yep.
like, no,
Yeah.
Yep.
you're all awful, each
They're
and
all
every
terrible.
one of you,
Yep, they're the worst in the world.
the worst people. Lee,
All right, so anyway, this week I stopped working 2 full-time jobs on Wednesday, and and I thought I was going to sleep all day on Thursday, but then we got a puppy, and her name's Maisie, and she has what do you call?
And that's what he consumed.
Insane
Nom, nom,
puppy
nom.
energy. Insane puppy
oh
energy.
really?
Yeah,
Oh.
But yeah, that's a puppy.
but she's
so-
so cute and she's so funny. Like today,
Well,
I
the
found
first-
out that
The first thing I noticed about her when you put some pictures up,
Yeah.
Huge noggin. I just
Look at the size of that cranium.
you got to grow into it. It's going to be adorable.
yeah, she
Anyway.
she's got the hot dog puppy breath and her tummy's still made of rubber. So she's all right. So I'm watching more Star Trek Discovery, and again, my thesis that I will go to the grave with is it's just too weird for regular people. So that's just how it goes. I
What
also
season are
watched-
you in now?
I'm on the most recent season.
Okay, yeah,
so,
yep.
Yeah, and it's just like I really love it, and I love that
I do too.
Starfleet's ideals are that's catnip to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I watched-
Starfleet.
exactly right. So anyway, I watched some videos on how to support a rose trellis because a coworker at my new job and we built a 15 by 15 rose trellis out of cedar yesterday.
Inches or feet?
Ooh.
Feet. And
A lot
of
we did
roses.
we did it old school. Like this thing is handcrafted and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it was 15 inches. It was for their action figures.
I knew, that's what I was wondering.
It was for
his
it was for
minis.
my new Andor action figures. I watched episode 9 and 10 of Andor as I slowly irritate Rebecca by taking my long ass time and watching this
It's
series.
fine.
She's totally okay with it.
As long as you're
It's-
doing it, that's all I care about.
It's so good.
It
I
is.
love it.
It is.
I'm just savoring it like a fine Chianti. Yellow Jackets. I don't know where the hell they're going. I
need
don't
to
know how the
catch
hell
up.
they're going to get there. So I just what?
It's
How?
wonderful.
You just
It
buckle
is.
in and let it wash
Yeah.
over you.
Yeah.
So my kid refers to Yellow Jackets and Succession as bowling for Emmys. Is basically it. Like every episode, they're just like, okay, who's up to bowl for Emmys this week? So
Your turn.
Great show. It is Star Citizen's Invictus Fleet Week. So if you want to
Are you
watch
still playing that?
I love that game. I can't stop playing it.
He lives
ask
there,
that
Rebecca. He
question.
lives
I
there.
thought that he.
No, he lives there.
I just stopped encouraging other people to go because it's broken. But
People
I
off my
can,
land.
I will go to Broken Space Game anytime because it's just it's a happy place. Ted Lasso, also kind of bowling for Emmys, I think, in a lot of ways. So I like the emotion that it has in there, and I like that men can be comfortable with their feelings on that show. And I also like that when Colin accidentally came out, that everybody not only was cool about it, but they were amazing about it. And that the guy that I thought was going to be a bigot wasn't actually being a bigot. He was just upset that Colin didn't trust him enough. And I thought that was really sweet. So that's good stuff. And then I watched Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. And I got to say this. The acting's horrific, but how the hell did the special effects from 20 some odd years ago hold up that freaking well?
Yeah.
You want to know something funny? I watched Attack of the Clones yesterday. So my Nana has been in town, and she loves a good pew pew shoot 'em up movie. So that's why I've been watching a lot of fast movies.
Oh, okay.
But I put on Attack of the Clones because I wanted to, or not Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. And when I tell you, my mom and I spent 10 minutes trying to explain to her that Hayden Christensen is now Darth Vader. And she's like, well, wait, that's Anakin? That's all burned up? And we're like, yeah. She's like, okay, but wait. But there's Vader now there too. And we're like, yeah. And then
Just
she's
a
like,
helmet, Grandma.
and she's like, well, wait, wasn't he with her? And she just gave birth to Luke? And I'm like, yeah. Do you see now
Yes.
why it's like so heartbreaking? And got on my pedestal for like 10 minutes about why it's absolutely reasonable for Padme to die of a broken heart. Like, it just makes sense. She lost everything in a day, okay? It is perfectly reasonable.
There are two key words to understanding Star Wars that people forget all the time, and the first one is fairy, the second one is tale. They're fairy tales. People can die of broken hearts. My dad was halfway through the second one, Attack of the Clones, when he looked at me in the theater. I'm not kidding. I don't know what this man was doing. The multiple times he saw Phantom Menace on VHS with the kid, whatever, he looks at me and goes, oh, wait, that's Obi-Wan?
Wait a
They've
minute.
only been calling him that the whole time.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm gonna let this slide. You've been through some stuff in your lifetime, but yes.
Well, and
Yes.
I was also wearing a shirt that has both Hayden Christensen and Obi-Wan on it, and my Nana goes, so this is Anakin. What happens to him? And I'm like, he becomes Vader, Nana. And she's like, I saw the light bulb, and she's like, oh, like it was so funny, like watching her piece everything together. I'm like, yes, now, do you see now? It is very sad. It is very sad what has happened.
Don't you get it? It's sad.
Oh, that's funny.
You should have
I
just
love
kept
that.
showing her Darth Vader on repeat going, no, no, no,
Wait, I got something.
no.
She was alive. I
got
felt
something
it.
for you. Here we go, Tony. This is just for you. Let me get this for you. This
He's
is
got to
just
hook.
for
He's
you.
got to hook up the board real quick.
Here we go.
This is the end.
Which, side note, when I watched Conan the Barbarian last week, James Earl Jones is the only one who knew what he was doing on that set as far as acting goes.
I was watching Revenge of the Sith as if it was a high school play, and that makes it kind of a lot better.
Okay. Because it
wrong
brings
with
your
Revenge of the
standards
Sith.
down that far.
Yeah,
or
just pretend you're watching a high school play.
a very expensive.
Very. It's at Beverly Hills High School.
Can you imagine a school production of anything with that budget? Okay, kids, here's the thing. This year, we're going to be doing The Seagull by Chekhov, and we're going to have a $200 million budget. So get ready. Get in there.
Is that everything, Lee?
Yes.
Okay. Real quick. Star Wars Visions is on your Disney Plus. That first episode is really good, and I want more of that character. I don't know who she is, but she's awesome, and I want more of
She
her.
was. And the little felt kid for the last episode was so good.
And and I saw the Aardman animation episode as well, which is also
Cheese, Grogu.
Don't forget to get your Wedge Antilles merchandise on your way out.
exactly.
Yes, please. I'll take one.
Okay. I watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie because it's on Paramount
And
Plus.
it's perfect. Yes.
It's flawless.
It's a nice, fun little event.
I don't like these words you're using.
These are not like what
These
I
are not
wanted.
like.
It's Chris Pine is of course wonderful. He always is. The whole cast is great. Everyone in this movie is good, and it's a fun story.
Yep.
If you like,
But,
if you,
but
I mean,
There's
I
a
won't.
but coming.
I won't remember it, but but it
I
was.
only watch it every day.
Well, then you'll have a better job at remembering it. Then, it was fine. No,
It
it
does
was
its job very well.
yes. It was a success. It did what it set out to do and was successful. I liked how snarky and smart it was.
What do you rate this movie? It was a
Yeah, what's your
success.
rating?
A 4 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That doesn't match the lead up talk, but I'll
Yeah.
take it.
I'm sorry.
That sounds like 3.5 talk.
I mean, you gotta remember, this is not a fantasy guy you're talking to. So
No,
he's-
I'm not
he's
a-
giving
yeah.
high praise.
Fair.
for a
That's
fantasy
true.
movie.
That's
For
true.
fantasy stuff, yes, thank you, Lee. This is I'm
true.
not a fantasy person, but for me, this is high praise for fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
This is
right.
I would put it top of the list. All right.
Okay.
All right. Finally saw the Ant-Man movie, Quantumania.
Watchy praises it. Watchy gives it like 5 stars.
Don't do it.
I loved the first 2 Ant-Man movies.
Yeah.
They're some of my favorite, and Ant-Man is one of my favorite Avengers. He's top 5 easily, and Paul Rudd is wonderful in this.
Yes.
I think that the problem was this movie doesn't have a soul necessarily.
That's a good way to put it, I think.
You know how with a Marvel villain, usually you understand them, and they have some points. You know. Kang in this, no. He's just, I'm here to be bad. I'm a bad guy. Look out, I'm a bad guy.
Maybe I haven't read enough Kang comic books, but I feel like that's kind of how he is in the comics, too. He's just like, I'm going to take over the universe.
No, I mean, he's given some motivation.
60s.
Does he have some motivation in the comics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just
And they
haven't read
didn't-
enough.
He's at war with himself. That's literally Kang. Is that Kang goes back in time, recruits himself as a teenager, trains him to be Kang so that he doesn't become Kang, and then Kang decides to become Kang so that he can kill Kang.
Oh, okay, yeah, they don't.
Kang's all the way down.
There's not enough Kangs to do that yet in the MCU.
Exactly. Kang,
Kang,
in the comics, a great villain. And the same with the God Killer from Thor Love and Thunder. Great villain. But we didn't get enough time with these characters to understand them. In the comic book, the God Killer, you understand him.
I feel
You
like
know-
so much of this phase of Marvel movies has been made by committee, and I feel like there's no strong central point making the movie. It's 30 people saying I want this, and all 30 of them get it in there, and it's just kind of felt that way with a lot of them. And I'm not saying I don't like them. I would have cherished every one of them 20 years ago, but we've seen how the template's supposed to work.
Well, I mean, they've had in this phase they've had some hits as well. I mean, Shang-Chi was great, and the TV stuff is. I mean, God, Moon Knights. You know,
This is why I kind of think Marvel should just move into TV stuff. The Film Theory YouTube channel, they did a really great video about what Ant-Man and Quantumania was probably supposed to be. And the plot makes a lot of sense. It seems like there was a fully formed plot somewhere in here,
Yeah.
but because of like the pandemic and just like a bunch of other stuff, things had to be picked out and kind of forced back together, and it didn't really work.
Everybody in the movie is great. Jonathan Majors is great. Paul Rudd, and Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, God,
great,
this is her movie, and she's wonderful. Has she never not been hot? I mean, just an amazing, just kicking ass all over the place, and I love all the stuff in it. It just kind of left me.
This is a movie that could have easily been solved with just like a quick conversation.
Hey, wait
Right?
a minute.
Like,
Oh,
like
you
if
guys
they
just
all
wanna
just had
leave?
like
Okay.
a super quick conversation instead of I can't talk about it now. Like
Exactly.
we have nothing but time. We're in the quantum realm. Like you
Yeah.
can just tell me.
Michelle
please, for the
Pfeiffer
love of
should have
God.
said, Quantum Realm was bad. Here's why. And it would have been over a dinner table. You know, have some spaghetti. Let me tell you about why the Quantum Realm is bad.
They did that in the Black Widow movie perfectly. They got the
Yeah.
whole group together and they had dinner and explained the back plot, and it was
That's
perfect. Yep.
And Black Widow was a great movie. Anyway, so there was that. I still love Ant-Man, and he'll still be in my top 5 Avengers. But and also you watch this movie and you go, never underestimate Ant-Man. Don't make fun of Ant-Man. He will kick your ass. Anyway,
He'll
You tell
call
him,
them the
Carrie.
ants.
and the ants do. Well, I'm giving away. I've said too much already.
Deus ex antina.
But now,
That's it,
now
right there.
I just got to get the cooties out of my body, and I'll go see Guardians 3, and I'll tell you about that as soon as I can. Let's see games, Tony. Before we head out,
things are finally starting to come alive again after Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom sucked all the oxygen out of the room. So this week we're getting a new Warhammer 40,000 game that looks pretty good.
Oh.
Warhammer 40,000.
Warhammer 40,000. Who calls it that?
That's how it's.
Isn't it
written.
40K?
Yeah, it's one way to do it. Warhammer 40,000K Bolt Gun is coming out this week.
Bolt Gun?
Yeah, Bolt Gun, and it's a really cool looking kind of retro shooter. Those are called boomer shooters these days because you shoot things and they go boom. In these games,
I just thought it was something really bad about.
Yeah, me too.
No.
Me too.
I did too until I had to look it up a while back.
So we hunt 75-year-olds. I just don't think that's a good idea.
So that one's looking pretty good. It's got kind of a retro style graphic design to it, and looks like it's fast paced and fun. We got something called Hello Good Boy on PC and Switch. Another one called Dino Punk on PC. Let's see, Daydream Forgotten Sorrow coming out on the 24th, and Evil Wizard coming out on the 25th.
It's the only kind.
Yeah, they're not nice ever.
Doctor Strange.
Except for Radagast
Evil
the
Wizard.
Brown. Radagast the Brown seemed like a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, a little close with those rabbits, if you ask me.
He's a little bumbling, but and like covered in poop all the time, but he's all right.
So hygienically evil.
Yeah, exactly. And then last but not least, wait for reviews on this one. For the love of Crom, please wait for reviews on this one. Lord of the Rings Gollum comes out this week.
I'm gonna play as Gollum.
And I'm here not to crap on your parade, but I don't think it's gonna be good.
I live in caves. The movie is the game is mostly in caves.
That is the best Smeagol impression I've ever heard.
Replace it forever.
Yeah. Watch the reviews. All the preview stuff I've seen for it make it look like it's not.
I watched the trailer and it.
It looks like Gollum Dookie. So watch out. Just watch the reviews. Don't spend your money on anything like that before you see
It'll
if
be
it's
on
any good.
deep discount on the winter Steam sale.
That's what I'm afraid of. So
if you
anyway,
must play it, precious.
that was a PSA for Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Yeah, the chat room wants to know: do you eat fish raw in the game?
You have to eat it raw. Why would you cook it?
Sushi.
So good to
Salmon roll.
He's my boy.
All right, here we go. We're gonna end this episode, but there's another episode coming. Only if you're a Patreon member.
Yep.
We're going to continue this show. Right now we're calling it the after party until some better title comes along. But this is just for our Patreon members. We're going to take a break here for a few minutes, and then we're going to start up another part of the show after these. So geekshowgotthiscovered.com is our link to our Patreon if you want to continue.
And if you're already a Patreon member, our Patreon page and our Discord page actually has details on how to join the room.
Awesome. Thank you.
Invites have been sent out, so we'll have that for you coming up. Are we good? I think we're good. Live long and prosper, bitches. For the culture.
Yeah, for the
Live my
culture.
life a quarter mile at a time.
No.
process.